bad news is, because I always like to start with the worst first, is that this is our last live show about our school's competition, our school's monthly competition. Yes, everybody, my heart is broken. This is it. But the good news is that we've got a really, really important date happening on the 23rd of October, and I'll tell you more about that later. So once again, welcome to the JSE Investment Challenge. And for those of you who do not know, you should really know by now, the JSE Investment Show is the Johannesburg Stock Exchange flagship financial literacy show. Mwah! So welcome, and I hope over the past couple of months that you and I and the schools and universities have really learned something that you didn't know before. Or for those of you who really are trying the whole investment journey for the very first time, realize this: you are not alone. You've got me, you've got the Johannesburg Stock Exchange and Johannesburg Stock Exchange Investment Show, just like this one, to help you through navigate all your investment queries. But as you know, I couldn't never do this show alone. And without any further ado, I'd like to introduce to you the well-renowned, the well-esteemed, my favorite friend, the JSE technical expert, Ralph Spears. Over to you.
G'day, Klubi. Thank you so much for that introduction. Making me blush here. It's good to be with you in the studio today for the last Schools Challenge. And it is quite sad to think that this is the last monthly show. It's been really a great journey, and I've enjoyed being hosting it with you.
I can't believe how much we've learned. I can't believe the caliber of, and since it's the schools episode today, of these school learners, and we like to call them learners, who have really just taken this task with all their might and really been so authentic and humble and still yet innocent in their journeys. How's your experience been of the school's monthly competition?
You know, I've really enjoyed this opportunity to be able to interview them on a monthly basis. I mean, this is the first of its kind where we've been able to every month hone into those winners and actually get to a feel and understanding as to what they've been up to. And it's exceptional what they've been able to achieve this year. And so, yeah, it's been really great getting into the minds and understanding everyone and how they've been going about their strategies.
It's been so incredibly daunting that some of these minds are so brilliant. And I know that you feel the same way too. And I love the fact that the purpose and the mission and vision of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange is really to encourage people from all walks of life, from all boundaries. And like you always like to say on the show, we like starting them young. Am I right?
You know, that's it, Klubi. It's about trying to reach all quarters of this country, and you've seen over the shows how the different demographics of South Africa have been represented here, and it's just so wonderful to see that the schools out there, it doesn't matter what school background you come from, you are still able to compete on an equal platform here and actually go and win some of these prizes. And it's really great that we have this opportunity for the youth out there, and I'm looking forward to having it just grow each and every single year.
I'm just as excited as you are. You spoke my favorite word, prizes. Let's talk about the prizes that you can win in our next JSE Investment Challenge, especially for the schools.
Yeah, so there's a monthly prize of 3,000 Rand for the team. So each and every month, and we've got 6 monthly prizes. And so that's how it works each calendar month that we run. So that's basically from the middle of March till the middle of April and so on, all the way up now until September. Each year there's monthly prizes. So you don't have to be on top of the scoreboard on the annual game. You can compete month to month and still be able to win one of the prizes.
I love it. I'm so excited. You know me, when it's girls in the house, and especially young girls of color who are winners, this has been really an eye-opener for me, that really, when we talk about it having no boundaries, we really put our money literally where our mouth is, everybody. So the winners for today, and it's from Ukudio College, and they've been doing so well over the past couple of seasons. And without any further ado, I'd like to introduce these young, beautiful, brilliant girls. Oh, let's see. Utalita Ramushu and Canis Tele, both from ACCP. College Crystal. One is from the income portfolio, and that is Talita. And the other, the winner of the speculator portfolio. Hi, girls.
Hi.
Hello, Talita. Okay, I'm going to leave you for a second so you can get some energy and personality just like me, because Ralph and I are really going to be chatting to the two of you later. Once again, I'd like to explain how proud I am of the fact that this initiative called the JSE Investment Challenge is really about giving the tools, giving the support structure, and obviously giving the skill set on how to invest, creating wealth and creating knowledge and expertise. And yes, it's a reminder that Ralph always tells us it is a virtual game, but it's all in preparation for that one day when we're spending our own hard-earned cash. Am I right, Ralph?
Yep. When you start young, you create that habit, you create that continuous discipline
Yes.
of putting money aside.
Yes.
And the sooner that you actually install that good habit, the easier it becomes with larger sums of money when you do start earning money. So, I'd encourage everyone to be putting that money away each and every month, even if it's not necessary straight away into a trading account. But putting the savings away, getting it ready to be able to then grow that money by using it in the stock market.
And as usual, us at the JSE Investment Challenge really like to be generous about everything, especially our knowledge. But we do have a JSE hamper up for grabs, and that will be randomly selected to that viewer, yes, you, who is most engaged in the topic of the day, which I'll be explaining about later, and just most engaged about today's episode. And then the big announcement is coming of the school's competition winners, which I'll reveal at the end of the show. So that's really something that we can all look forward to. As usual, every single episode, whether it's schools competition or university competitions, we have the topic of the day. And that is a subject matter of... Reveal this to us, please.
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about exchange traded funds, or we like to call them ETFs. And really, it's a follow-up from our previous monthly session, which was on indices. And now we're going to be talking about the products that you can then buy that track those indices. So really, what it is exchange traded funds, which is technically just a basket of shares on the JSE.
What an action-packed and jam-packed episode. And yes, just a gentle reminder that it is our final live episode. It's heartbreaking, but there's always more to come. You know us at the JSE Investment Challenge. It's never just something that ends. It always ends on a high. So it's a reminder to keep engaged so you could have the opportunity to win that JSE hamper. And don't forget, I'll be announcing all the teams who have been winners of the school competition of this year. We're taking a break. We'll see you in a bit. With you at the end of this episode about our big finale, so you cannot literally leave your screens. Thank you so much for joining us, and without further ado, I'm always so excited to reveal our school winners. And this month of August, it is young girls, and that always makes me happy, obviously. So without further ado, let us give a big warm welcome to Utalita Ramushu from ACCP College Crystal for the winner of the income portfolio. Hi, Talita.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi.
You look
Fine,
wonderful.
thanks, and you?
I'm so happy and proud of what you've accomplished. Are you excited?
Yes.
All right, we're going to come back to you in a second. We're going to meet actually your schoolmate who is also a winner, and her name is Candice Tele, and also from ACCP, College Crystal Park, for the Speculator Portfolio. Congratulations, Candice.
Thank you very much.
I am so proud of you. I am so happy for you. How are you girls feeling?
Good, good. Nervous as well.
Honey, let me tell you something. The worst part is over. You won the competition, all right? There's no need to be nervous. Talita, how are you feeling?
Good and excited.
It makes me so proud just to see, young ladies doing it for themselves. Did you tell all your school Markies, you tell all your school friends, Ichomi Zenu, to be watching on Facebook? Do you have their support and your teachers and everybody? Are they all watching? Has school come to a standstill?
Yes, they are.
Okay, let's start with you, Talita. Tell us a little bit about who you are. What are your favorite subjects at school? How did you get into wanting to invest?
Well, my favorite subjects in school are maths and the English, and I learned about the investment challenge from my teacher when he told us about it, and then we were told about the boardroom that we can join it. Then we about to learn how to invest money, and yeah.
Do you take some of the tips that you've learned from your teacher at school and try to tell your family about these new things that they've learned? How is your family like? Are they proud of you? Are they like, wow, this girl knows so much? Or do you also ask advice from your family?
Yes, my family is very proud of me, and most of my advice is given to me by my teacher.
Wonderful. Now, Talita, tell us about, being in a team during the global pandemic, during COVID. Did it make it harder for you to make the choices that you made? Was it harder for you to get in touch with your teammates?
No, not really, because we're all in a group chat, so we all keep in contact with each other. So it wasn't that hard to get communicate with each other.
And then tell us about your team name, Jean Jacques Dessalines. Am I pronouncing it wrong? What is your team name? Let me let you say it. What's your team name?
It's Jean-Jacques Dessalines.
What does that mean?
It is a name of a person. This person was a leader of the Haiti Revolution.
What? I always tell people how smart you young ladies are. And once again, you just proved to the whole of South Africa how smart you are. Okay, we'll be coming back to you in a moment. I'm so proud of you and congratulations of being the team winning for the income portfolio for this month's schools challenge. Mwah! Congratulations. You stay on the line. You do not go away, okay? Harriet Hubman. What team name is that? Harriet Hubman.
It's actually Harriet Tubman.
Ah,
Mistake there.
Tubman. Who's Harriet Tubman? I might know. I actually might know, but I think you can tell me.
Okay, so Harriet Tubman was a Black American political yeah,
No.
activist.
Yes.
She was born into slavery.
Yes.
She was also an activist in the movement for the legal rights of women to vote.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Actually, a movie. You know, I'm an actress, but that's another episode. I know exactly who you're talking about, and a movie has come out just revealing her strength and her power and her legacy. So you were destined for greatness in choosing that name. That just once again shows your mindset, which blows me away. Congratulations for winning. You see, you get me so excited. Congratulations for being the team that wins Speculator Portfolio. So
Thank you.
let's talk about you, beautiful lady. How old are you? Tell us about your family. And how did you get into the world of investing?
Okay, so I'm 17, I'm in
Yes?
grade 11.
Yes?
I live with my mom and my two siblings.
Yes?
So I got into this whole JSE thing. I started last year.
Yes?
We started a boardroom extra activity at school,
Yes?
and my teacher introduced the JSE to us, and that's when I grew interest, and I said, I'll join.
And next thing you know, you're a winner.
Yes.
So, as I asked Talita, how has being the world of investing? How has it been interacting with your teammates during a global pandemic? Has it been more difficult to get in touch with your team? Has your investment choices been different because of a global pandemic and COVID? Candice?
It has been very hard, especially communicating with my team
Yeah.
because they were very far from me. Yes, we had a group chat, but it was still very hard. And the choices I made, I I was a bit scared and very skeptical about them. And I just had my teacher to guide me through as well. So I think that helped a lot.
I love you, and I love you, Talita. And listen, Rolf, I'd like you to jump in here. I see, and every time we speak to this specific school, and that's ACCP, the teacher or the teachers, I don't want to boil it down to one teacher because it'd be a riot. The teacher is so involved in the progress and opening up the love for investing. And I find that so special and so rare for a teacher who becomes a mentor, who becomes a guide into something that they're passionate about and leaving that mark in their pupils. I mean, that is just, I'm left with no words about that. Can you talk to us about that?
You know, I really feel that that's one of the big keys to the success of teams is having that backing, that mentor, that guide,
Yes.
and the teachers that play that role. You can see it just in actually the teams being so successful, and this year has proved it once again. With Crystal Park having so many teams that have won both monthly games, and as we're going to be seeing a little bit later, the possibility that they could be in the top teams as well. And so, you know, that is really great. And I'd actually like to ask the ladies, Talita and Candice, good to meet both of you. And I'd like to just ask, you know, how has it been when you've got so many teams at a school that are all competing in the JSE Challenge? Are you competing against each other? Do you guys work as big groups, or are you on your own and doing your own thing, or do you have like a class where you come together and you all talk about the stock market? Maybe I can ask Candice to give us some feedback there.
Well, actually, we work as a group, individual group. So in my group, there's 4 people. So we work together, and another group would work on their own. So we're separated. Yes, we would only come together
Okay.
during the meetings, which is not every day. So yeah.
And during those meetings, are you guys then discussing how the market's doing and working as a collective to really get a bigger picture of the stock market?
Yes, yes, we are.
that's definitely something that really assists the learners being able to keep on track, because at the end of the day, you've got money in the market, and being able to keep on monitoring your portfolio it's like basically keeping your thumb on the pulse of what's happening with the stock market. And I think that's so lovely that we've seen this school do so well this year, and with Mr. Giba Mahlangu really giving that support, and a big thank you to him for his efforts involved there.
I think the girls should give an individual shout out to their teacher, or that one special person who's really helped them on their investment journey and becoming winners. So Talita, let's start with you. Give a shout out. Give a shout out to your teacher.
I'd like to give a shout out to my teacher for helping me out during this investment journey, and also to my teammates, which are helping me the whole time and making sure we become the winners.
That's beautiful. Candice, give your shout outs of who've helped you on this journey and obviously become a winner. Give your shout outs, baby.
Shout out to Mr. Mahlangu. He really helped out a lot from last year. He's been there to support. And yeah, shout out to my teammates as well. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here.
That's so beautiful. I'm in such a good mood because of these two young ladies. Okay, Rolf, so between me and you, I think let's unpack. And because really this is our last live show when it comes to the school's monthly challenge, I think we really have to be specific about these young women's team strategies to become winners and what they've done in the past. So will you help me out here? So ladies, are you ready? We're going to be asking you just about the journey of becoming a winner and the strategies that you've used. Okay, are you ready, Candice and Talita? Give me a thumbs up.
Yes.
All right, Ralph, you can kickstart.
Yeah, so I always like to understand exactly in which area you've really been looking into. Did you as a team choose a specific focus on certain companies, whether it was a retail, or whether it was mining, or whether it was finance, or did you just look to see which is the best share that's performing right now? What exactly did you, Talita, do as a team?
We looked at which companies were doing the best, and then we made our decisions based on that.
Okay, and did you use maybe charts and graphs, or did you look at their financials? How did you go about deciding which is the best one that's doing well at the moment?
We checked their charts, their history of how they did before, how they were performing, and checked if they were still performing as well, and we both did it.
Lovely. And maybe I can ask Candice a question around, you had this money to invest. Did you go and use the full allowance of what you could spend, or were you guys conservative, not using too much? How did you decide on how much to spend on each time?
Well, firstly, we would look at how much what we'd want to buy, and I think that's how we spend, but we try not to use all our money. And yeah.
Yeah, because I think, money management is one of the keys that I see the teams that are doing well is being able to protect that money and not necessarily spend all of it. You are given that R1,000,000, and it is virtual, so a lot of people just take it for granted that I can just spend all of it. But if you're wanting to do well in the market, you need to protect that risk. I mean, maybe Klubi, you can come in and chat to them.
So what are the industries, young ladies? I don't know if I skipped that you really have been focusing on or have always had your interest. Has it been mining or banking or telecommunications? Where has your focus been at? Let's start with you, Talita.
We've mostly been focusing on mining because that has seemed to be doing the best these days. But then there was a time where we did move from mining.
Why do you think mining is doing well in our current economic conditions? What do you see in mining that maybe an ordinary other girl doesn't, or an ordinary other investor doesn't, Talita?
We saw that they were making the most money because like it's in a pandemic right now and people really do need money. So yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. And then, Candice, for you, what was your team's focus? Or maybe next time, the next time you're a winner, what's going to be your focus is on mining, banking, telecommunications. Where do you see yourself? Where is your focus going to be?
I think we're gonna go more on the mining side still, because I think it does bring a lot of money in. I guess. Yeah.
So, Rolf, so mining seems to be the place to put some of your eggs, because you know us, we like to diversify. What do you think about that, the girls' choices?
Yeah, firstly, when you ask me a question like that, I need to put a disclosure and say that, listen, this is a virtual game and you must not take this as advice out in the markets and go do it with real money.
Correct. Thank you.
But to answer your question, I'd say, this year, from March all the way now until probably July, August, mining has been doing well, and the resource sector has been doing well. But things change. If you go look at how the mining stocks have done in the last, I would say, 3-4 weeks, you've seen quite a bit of a downturn with those. And if, in fact, in the last week of the competition, you found many of the teams that were holding resources all of a sudden started falling out of the top 10,
Correct.
or at least dropping quite badly. Because they were very heavy on resources. So,
Correct.
at the end of the day, the same sector won't always perform and give you the best performance. Over time, you need to start looking as to what is trending now. So it's always about looking at the current sector and seeing which are the sectors that are currently performing. We're going into the season of when people go spend a lot of money in the shopping, in the retail. So towards November, December, you'll find people start believing that that sector might do well or perform well because a lot of people are going out and shopping. So that's just an example of looking at the different trends that take place.
I love that. Always learning something new right here on the JSE Investment Challenge. Back to our winners, and that is from the school, ACCP. Big shout out to ACCP and everybody that's watching from their school and supporting the winners. That is Jean-Jacques Dessalines. I know I'm like messing up your name, team name Talita, and obviously team Harriet Tudman, and that is Candice Cele. So let's talk about team dynamics, because I really have a vested interest in how people work in teams. Now let's talk about your teams. Talita, just say your team name again.
Jean-Jacques Dessalines.
Jean-Jacques Dessalines. And Candice, tell us about just say your team name again, please.
Harriet Tubman.
Harriet Tubman. Okay, so to the both of you, if there is an issue where your team is not getting along, or there's been a disagreement, or a difference of opinion, or a difference in strategy, how do you sort things out and move on so that you can become a winning team? In a sense, I'm asking you, surely you've had bad moments in your team goals. How did you learn to get over it to eventually become our monthly school winners today? So let's start with team Jean-Jacques Dessalines.
Communication is the best thing to make a team work, because maybe usually that is the problem, that you guys don't agree on things, you don't talk about them. So really talking about your strategy and your disagreement to understand the person and why they chose that certain thing.
I love, love, love that. Communication is key. And Team Harriet Tubman, tell us about, obviously you've had the bad times and the fallouts and the disagreements of personalities, but now today you're standing here as a winner. Tell us about what did you do to sort out your problems as a team?
So obviously everyone's got their own say and that's normal. But when it came to like we had to make a decision right away,
Yes.
we'd go consult our teacher and he would help us and he'd give us the better opinion and that helped a lot.
So I love the fact that you also had somebody to intervene and be the mediator and be the cool head in a hot environment. Yes? I know I most of the time I find myself in hot, heated environments, but you need that cool-headed person in a hot, heated environment. I love that. So as we can see, Ralph, there's so many different strategies to a team dynamic, but you've got to be a very what's the word? You have to have the right kind of solution to be able to get through those bad times to become the ultimate winner. Ralph?
Yeah, so I mean that's the beauty of this, and it's something that the girls can really add to their CV one day. Is that that team dynamics is what really makes this challenge very interesting, because
Yes.
we've all got our opinion as to which is the next hot stock and which is the best one to go for, and now it's about working together to try and come up with a solution as to whose idea or which idea is the right idea. And that's what we're wanting out of this game, is to actually see that and help develop that skill of team effort and teamwork and working together.
I love what you're just saying, and I'm always using the hashtag, and girls, listen to this, teamwork and collaborations. And I find, especially in a global pandemic, teamwork and collaborations is key. It is a survival toolkit. And if you're as lucky, not really lucky, but as prestigious as ACCP, you'll be winning school always. Okay, Ralph, closing up this segment, can you pose one last question to the girls?
Yeah, I would like to really know if there was any website or any book or any YouTube channel that you ladies were looking at or using to assist you on this investment journey that maybe you could mention. Is there anything that you used? I'll start with Candace.
Yes, I used moneyweb.co.za. That helped a lot because it had graphs and all that to help.
Great.
And Talita?
We also used MoneyWeb, but we also had the help from our teacher to guide us.
Beautiful. I'm so excited. Our final live schools competition, live schools show. But don't be so hurt, because we will be announcing the teams that are winning in the schools competition at the end of this show. Do remember there's a JSE hamper up for grabs, and that winner will be randomly selected. And in our next segment, which is coming up after the break, we'll be talking more about Etfs. Let's all get educated. See you in a bit. I'm learning something, we're learning something new every single day on this show. Unfortunately, It is our last live show when it comes to the Schools Monthly Challenge. But don't be sad, because we've got a big announcement to make at the end of the show, and those are our school competition winners, all the teams. And I've got a really great reveal for you, which is happening on the 23rd of October. So you literally cannot go away. Okay, so the topic of today's show is called ETFs. And I know a lot of you, and so am I, are asking, what are ETFs? The tax implications of ETFs. But that is why I'm always hanging out with our JSE technical expert in the house, Mr. Ralph Spears. I hand the segment over to you.
Thank you, Louis. Yes, ETFs, we like to use a bit of jargon, just like all the other industries. It's exchange traded funds, but if I had to just simplify it, it's really a basket of shares, and you are getting that performance as to how well that whole basket of shares are doing. So I can give you an example. We've got a very popular one, or the first one that actually came onto the JSE back in 2000, and that's the Satrix 40. And what the Satrix 40 does is it goes and measures the performance on a daily basis as to how the top 40 companies have done, and you then receive that return on a daily basis. You are then, obviously, your portfolio is increasing or decreasing depending on what happened to those top 40 companies. And there's a whole a range of ETFs. We've got somewhere around 70 plus ETFs that are now on the JSE, and you can go and select any of the different ETFs and being able to go and buy it. It's I can answer some of the questions that I see that are actually coming up on the screen, and that's exactly what we're wanting. The first question I see that's there, it says, what affects the movements of ETFs? And really, it's based on what is that index or indice that's actually moving the underlying index. And so whatever is happening to that underlying index is going to affect that ETF. So, for example, if you bought the Satrix Resources ETF, you are then getting the movements, so the up and down movements of those resource companies, those top 10 resource companies that's in that basket. And whatever happens to those companies as a collective, that is what's going to affect your ETFs. And then, how do you know when it's a good time to invest? That's another question. It's not about timing the market, as in trying to time it when to get in, but it's about timing the market.
Wow.
So I believe that with exchange traded funds, they are long-term product. They're long-term investment. This is not something that you'd use to buy today and then get out tomorrow. This is a vehicle that you can use for your longer-term investments, and that is what we would encourage you to explore. And then are ETFs good investments? Well, in fact, they're probably one of my most favorite investments, in the fact that you've got this vehicle, and I'm not going to go too much into it, but I'd love people to go and do some homework around it, which is called tax-free savings accounts or tax-free investments accounts with our ETFs, where basically the government is allowing you to invest, and you won't be taxed on the capital gains that you're making or the dividends you're making from these ETFs. And so it's a great vehicle that you can use to start putting money away. And there's an allowance there of 36,000 Rand a year that you can put away each and every year. You don't have to put that exact amount. You can put any amount, a small amount, 100 Rand, 200 Rand. But at the end of the day, that is a vehicle that you can use that will not be taxed. And so that is why I love exchange traded funds, is that you can go and use that in that vehicle. If I had to go look at one or two other questions here, what are the downsides to ETFs, or what are the risks involved? Yes, like with any other share or any other product that you use, there are risks with ETFs. You are obviously exposed to whatever that index does. So if that index is not performing well and it's not doing well, then you would see, for example, I could take an example with ETFs. Maybe a property ETF in the last 1 year has performed pretty badly, And so therefore you can see that, I know one of the ETFs has gone roughly around 30-40% down with property. And, that is obviously a big downturn. But if you're in it for the long haul, hopefully you'll be able to ride those downturns, and hopefully those ETFs will recover and continue to go up over time. But at the end of the day, there is risk. But what I would like to say, it's a lot smaller risk than an individual company, because an individual company, if that company went belly up and did not perform well and actually eventually collapsed, you are exposed purely to that exact company. But when it comes to ETFs, you are buying a whole basket, which is exposed to multiple companies, and therefore the risk is a lot lower, as far as losing a lot more money. Because if you've got a company that's performing badly, over time it will actually be kicked out of that basket and replaced with another company, and therefore you are then not having that downturn that comes with holding just an individual company.
A question that was asked, I see on my side, Ralph, is that with the ETFs, I don't want to get that messed up with another acronym. My own jokes. With the ETFs, are they? I love it when you smile with me. Ralph, are there tax benefits to ETFs?
Yeah. So if you go and specifically tell your stockbroker that you want to open a tax-free ETF, tax-free investment account, then you will have that tax benefit of being able to be having a tax-free when it comes to all our local ETFs. You'll still find that the foreign ETFs that you can buy, for example, the S&P 500 or the World Index, they obviously tax you from their side to do with the dividends, but you will not be taxed on the capital gains when you holding those shares in your tax-free savings account. But if you were to go buy a normal ETF with your broker and it's not in a specific tax-free account, well, then you've got the normal tax implications, and you'd need to speak to your tax consultant as to what is the percentage and what are you going to be charged on that.
If some of you are feeling just a little bit overwhelmed from all this information, or for those of you who are feeling really comfortable with it, that's the game that we play right here at the JSE Investment Challenge. No matter where you are in your investment journey, this is the show for you. If you want to find out a little bit more about who we are and what we stand for, especially when it comes to the schools competition, do give us a shout out on our website at schools.jse.co.za. Ralph, are there any more questions about ETFs on your side?
I would like to just really talk and say that, these prizes that we're giving out are actually in the form of exchange traded funds, trying to encourage the learners to be able to start young and start putting money away in exchange traded funds. So, at the end of the day, I believe it's a vehicle that anyone can use.
Beautiful.
You can give it to your friends, family as a gift. It's small amounts. You can start with 100 Rand, 300 Rand, and put that money away and leave it for a long time. And over time, you can see that grow, and it's really encouraging to be able to watch that. It's not a risky product as an individual share, or it's a lot less risky. So therefore, I'd encourage those of you that are watching this video, if you are interested into starting to invest, do consider looking at exchange traded funds.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, our JSE expert in the house. I told you I needed him. I told you. So coming up next, I'll be talking about what's happening on the 23rd of October. We'll be coming back and celebrating our winners of our school monthly competition. That is Talita and Candice. And of course, I'll be announcing our school competition winners in no particular order. See you in a bit. have no idea how crazy it is in the studio because there's so much good news. Welcome back to the JSE Investment Challenge. Of course, my name is Mboya Arnold, and I wouldn't be able to do this show without our JSE expert in the house, and that is Ralph Spears. Hi, Ralph.
Hi, Luby.
Okay, beautiful. So we just completed our topic of the day, and that is ETFs. And I'm so happy that we really have just unpacked a little bit of that conversation. But I'd really like to close the show with bringing back our winners from ACCP of our school's monthly competition. That is from August, and that is Talita from Jean-Jacques Dessalines and Candice Tele from Team Harriet Tidman. Hi, winners. Are you good?
Hi.
Are you good, ladies? Are you good?
Yes.
I think I'm more excited than the two of you are.
Yes.
Are you excited, and are you proud of yourselves, more importantly?
Very proud.
Okay, so we're going to round off this segment, and we're going to start off with you because I really, really am so proud of you. And I'd like you to just quickly tell us what you've learnt, but not just winning, the school's competition, but just being a part of the JSE Investment Challenge, number one. And number two, your words of wisdom. What can you teach other people about this game, and what has it taught you? Okay, so let's start with you, Talita. What have you learned about yourself, and what motivation can you give other people?
I learned about how to invest money and how to work with other people, communication, and how to other people keep going even if it's hard, it's tough, it is, but you'll get there.
I love it, and congratulations. We at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange Investment Challenge, especially the school monthly challenge, are so proud of you, and keep going, all right? And Candice, tell us about what you've learned from playing this game, and what advice can you give other people about investing?
It's not easy, yes, but just push really hard, and you can do it, I guess. And don't be afraid to face your fears. If you feel that no, you're not gonna make it, you will. Just push really hard.
Thank you so much, Candice. When I listen to you two ladies, it gives me so much hope about the future of our country and the wealth creation and the hands that will hold the wealth of this country for our future. What do you think, Ralph?
It's lovely. It's lovely. Their words of wisdom, and I'd like to just encourage everyone that it just takes that extra little step, that little push, as she said, to start getting involved. Because once you just pass that jargon, once you understand a little bit about investing, it becomes so much easier, and eventually you'll be able to become an expert and understand the markets, and it won't be so daunting. So it's just that first step that you need to take.
Beautiful. So 3 big announcements, okay, and then we wrap up the show, okay, because we're running out of time. So the winner of our JSE hamper, who was randomly selected, is Jared Teasdale. So Jared Teasdale, congratulations. You are this week's JSE hamper winner. Congratulations. Okay, there's a confetti. Congratulations. Thank you so much for being so engaged, because that's what it took to win our JSE hamper prize. Next announcement, drum roll please. And Ralph, you can help me out in this if you've got anything to add. So everybody who's watching this live show today, mark your dates, set your calendars for the 23rd of October, because that is the JSE Investment Challenge grand finale, all right? So I will repeat that on the 23rd of October. Mark that date on your calendar. We will be keeping in touch with you on all our social media platforms of the JSE Investment Challenge to give you all the finer details of the grand finale of the JSE Investment Challenge, and that will be happening on the 23rd of October 2020. Ralph, do you have anything to add to that?
That's brilliant, and it's really exciting, and to be able to see who's going to be coming in the top positions, and that's exactly what we'll be doing on that day. We'll be revealing the positions from 1 to 5 in each portfolio, and being able to hand out those prizes, and being able to actually speak to the winners and celebrate that victorious day with them on the 23rd of October.
So you heard it from me and Ralph. Follow us on social media. That's a JSE Investment Challenge to find out more about our grand finale on the 23rd of October. Another drum roll. I told you it was going to be an exciting show. I think it's time that we reveal our top winning teams for the schools competition. Are you ready? Are you ready, Ralph? Because I'm ready. Here we go, everybody. These are our school competition top teams. The top teams, drum roll please, for schools competition. Marks, and correct me for my pronunciation, hey Ralph, you're with me on this. Mart, ACCP, and that is Akudeo College, Crystal Park. Beautiful winning teams. The Bizarre Investors, ACCP. We've got Black Labor, White Wealth, ACCP. Cleaver for President, we had them on our show, ACCP. Well Done School, ACCP. Smith _77, Wood School, Dr. Milan. Cash Crusaders, Lawson Brown High School. MP Stars, we had them in our show. That's Mpumelelo Secondary School. The Queens, Mpumelelo Secondary School. 2020 winners, Mpumelelo Secondary School. The winners, MP Unstoppable winners. And those both are from Mpumelelo Secondary School. Jason's Wealth, Orient Islamic School, beautiful. PBHS, Jack Boys, we had them on our show. And that's a Pretoria Boys High School. Prophets of Prophets, and that's as Redham House in Durbanville. And last but certainly not least, that's SET, CETT, the Settlers High. And that is our school teams competition winners. Rolf, do you have anything to say about that?
No, I'd just like to everyone that's watching, please do tune in on the 23rd of October. I'd like to encourage all the teachers out there, everyone that wants to get involved next year. This is the first year that we've been able to share our ceremony with everyone. Because it's virtual, we're able to share that with you all. So we'd love as many people to join us and listen in on who are the winners and celebrate it with them.
I've really had the time of my life sharing the knowledge, the skills, and the brains that really prepare us to become the greatest investors that we can be. Ralph Spears, thank you so much for really taking me on an unforgettable journey. To all the winners that have participated on the show, to all the teams that have tried their best and will continue to do their best, playing this virtual game, yes, virtual game of the JSE Investment Challenge. As the girls said today, don't give up. It is hard, but it'll be worth it in the end. So I'd like to say a big thank you as we wrap up. Thank you so much to our winners, and that is Talita from Jean-Jacques Dessalines, and that's from school ACCP. And congratulations once again to Candice Tele from Team Harriet Tubman ACCP. Congratulations, girls.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. So everybody, tomorrow is our University Schools Monthly Challenge. I'm so excited to partake in that. Don't forget, and I'll reiterate, our grand finale on our 23rd of October from me and Rolf. An investment in challenge always pays the greatest interest. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow on the JSE Investment Challenge. Bye for now.